Welcome to our Lab 5 walkthrough. This lab will be focusing on simulating a multi-page form using wizard control. This also simulates sessions, so we will discuss sessions, but you don't need to use sessions in the lab. We do so we can primarily focus on cookies, which you will need, as well as we are once again interfacing with a database on the class server. So here you see this form was created with the wizard. Notice there are attendee, morning seminar, afternoon seminar, confirm information, and complete registration. This is a conference registration form. This is our attendee form. As you can tell, there's a little bit of highlighting, a little bold text here. Before we get into this though, a couple of things. One, this is still sitting and interfacing with the database. So if we look at the database here, and once again you'll get the SQL statement to create this, there's not much in here. We do have an ID number, which is our primary key. It's a small integer. One thing to note, it is set up as an identity, and so it increments by 1. It starts at 10. So we don't write anything to this field. This keeps track, the database keeps track of this as our primary key. Everything else is pretty simple: a first name, last name, phone number, morning seminar, and afternoon seminar. So we'll get all this stuff in the multi-page form, the simulated multi-page form. So let's go back here. The other thing to note before we get started, we will be primarily all on one ASPX page. There'll be code in the .cs page. I do have a very small CSS file for some formatting, but to be honest, the majority of this formatting here is done by the Wizard Web Server control, except for such items such as this pending here. Another thing to point out is, hopefully this shows on the screen, is the cookie color. This is just, we're managing cookies. So as you'll see right now, I have a Google cookie, VPN cookies that I don't want to get rid of the VPN cookies right now. So if you use cookie color, you can protect those. It's just a Firefox add-in. But as soon as I go to this page, I'm not sure you can see it on the screen, but we auto-detect cookie support. So one of the first things to see here is that localhost now has an ASPX auto-detect cookie support. Now I needed to make that change in my web.config file. So there is a line you'll need to add there. So let's go ahead and walk through this then. So let me go ahead and hit next. Of course, we have some required field validation here. If we look back on the database, we'll see that there already are some records in here. So I'm going to add a new one. Now we also have a regular expression check here. Alright, so I go to next. It moves into the morning seminar, and I just have a drop down and come up with your own items here. I'm going to say I'm going to take the compiling seminar. If I don't select one, once again I get a message. And for my afternoon seminar, I think I will take dancing. Now on this confirm information page, you'll notice all the information has been brought forward. If we're using sessions, they need to be in sessions, but since we're using this wizard to simulate a multi-page form, we don't really need sessions here. We can bring all this forward. Now please note on this confirm information page, there is a separate setting in the wizard you need to set because it is the last page. All the complete registration will do is give us a message. So I can go back and change things still, right? I can click previous and keep going back and changing things still, and so compiling and dancing. But if I go back and say, oh, I don't want to do dancing. I'm going to take the cursing. So I go, and this will be reflected here. As soon as I hit finish, we're going to write the record to the database. I'm not going to require you to do an update on this one, so we won't be able to change it. Notice we still say pending because this attendee number is going in the ID field, and the database is actually going to take care of it for us. So let me go ahead and hit finish. I've been registered for the conference. Okay, now quite a few things happened on that finish. Let's first go here and see if I am now in the database. I should be. Sure enough, there I am, Doc Ray, with the compiling and the cursing and the phone number. I get ID number 14 because that's an incremental identity. Now, the next thing to realize is, let's say I want to come back. All right, so I need to somehow remember myself. I could close out my browser, go away, come back the next day, whatever. So I wrote a cookie at the same time I wrote some database information. If I look here now, I still have this auto detect that goes away at the end of the session, but I also have a new cookie called register info. And if we look at this, I have stored first name Doc, last visit 11/27/2010. So I've actually written the date in the cookie. All right, and I've also written my ID number in the cookie. That's important because that ID number is my primary key in my database. So I should be able to come back later and the application will remember me. I also set it to expire. It's 30 days from now. So I set the expiration date 30 days. And I want to leave this cookie here, right? So let me come back and come back to my conference again. All right. Now, some things have changed. All right. The first page is already filled out for me. It says, "Welcome back, Doc. You have not been here since 11/27/2010." Those were fields from perhaps my cookie, right? And I say, feel free to browse your registration, but it cannot be changed. To be honest, I did that to keep the lab simpler. Not that it couldn't be with some code. A couple other things. What, I have my attendee number. Put that right in there. Okay. And this information, notice my text fields are no longer enabled. And this information is actually coming, all this is coming from the database. All right. So as I move to next, I once again, there is my morning seminar. I cannot change it, right? So none of the fields anymore are enabled, right? But I can still grab information from the database and get it back, right? So I have all my information, okay? And so it kept it all. Now, if I go ahead and hit finish, this is once again the complete functionality. But I definitely don't want to try writing this back into my database again. So if I hit finish, I just basically have another message say, hey, you already registered for the conference. See you there. All right. So I have a separate message in that. Now, so the nice thing about this is that my cookie has helped me, right? So as long as this cookie's here for the next 30 days, I'll be fine, right? Let me go ahead and remove my cookies. I've protected these two. Cookie color lets you do that because if I were to clear these out, my VPN connection would die. All right, and so let me go ahead and come back to the page again with my cookie gone. And it no longer remembers me, and I can go ahead and do another registration, right? And I could put all the same information, but I would get a new ID number because of the way the identity works. Take a look at this. We'll talk about it in class. Getting the cookies in the database and pulling the right information is not too challenging because there's a lot of built-in objects and functionalities within C# and .NET, but Chapter 9 has quite a bit of information in it. We will be using for the cookies the object cookie. Okay, so make sure you use HTTP cookie. That's actually a much more robust approach. So ask questions, look at the video. We'll discuss this in class, and